They come up just short, even though they push it to overtime, losing the game 129-33. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it all down, have some fun. It's the post game show. We're going to get it all into it and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans, welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every single social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So the Chicago Bulls lost this game in OT to the Milwaukee Bucks. But like I said, coming into this game, if you guys were there for the pregame show, is that it was more about how the Bulls competed, how they showed heart, how they executed. And this team showed tons of heart in this game, not even having a lead in this game until the fourth quarter of the game. Come back, battling back. They are able to push it into overtime. The beginning of overtime really kind of killed this team as well. We could not get a bucket to start. Two plays, running plays for Vooch to shoot three-pointers that didn't go in. We just couldn't hit a shot to start it. We ended up only getting outscored by 4 in the overtime period. But at the end of the day, like this team, the way that the Bulls team competed today, man, you just got to keep taking your hat off to a team that just continually shows that they are here to fight. They're here to give effort. They're here to execute. Coby White in this game. I know DeMar DeRozan scored 41, and we're going to talk about that here in a second as well. But I gotta give some love to Coby White and how he performed in this game. Coby continues to ascend, and people are asking those questions. Well, is it real? He's pointing to that direction. 33 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal from Coby White in this game. 3 personal fouls in the game. I only point that out because we had some bad foul calls down the stretch of this game, not necessarily from Coby. DeMar DeRozan with 41 points in this, going 14 of 30 shooting, 11 assists, 2 rebounds from DeMar DeRozan, 15 points from Patrick Williams. He continues his improved play as well. 15.7 rebounds, 2 assists in this game. Only 1 turnover from him. Did get 4 personal fouls. He made some really good defensive adjustments and possessions in this game's at time as well. There are also some things that hurt us at times when it came to P. Will. Not just him, but everybody. Ayo Dosunmu gets nothing in this game. Ayo Dosunmu, the only stat that Ayo Dosunmu registered in this game was a personal foul. No shots made, no rebounds, no assists, no none of that. The only thing that Ayo Dosunmu gave is a personal foul. Now, again, it sucks. Like, it's a bad game. Don't get me wrong for Ayo Dosunmu. He's played extremely well over the course of the season. This was just not one of those games. And then our bench unit. Overall, I was kind of disappointed with the bench production in this game. 7 points from Javon Carter, 9 points from Andre Drummond, 7 points from Torrey Craig, 3 points from Dalen Terry, shout out there, but nothing really from anyone else. Now, Dalen Terry, I got to give him credit. Dalen Terry in the fourth quarter specifically of this game had some really good defensive moments. He had a block shot and assist as well. Seeming like he's starting to control that energy some form. It wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, you can tell there's a different level of poise from Dalen Terry that we just haven't seen a lot from him at times. So I wanted to acknowledge that as well in this game. But, you know, when it comes down to it, the Bulls just didn't have enough to get the win in here. It just is what it is. They did not have enough to get the win, but they competed. And that's what we want to see what this team is, where this team is right now. A team that's missing a player like Zach LaVine and a player like Alex Caruso, and what Alex Caruso means for the heart of this team. But this is still a loss, but a loss that you can take some things away from and realize that, hey, this team is legit as far as the heart is concerned. It's a legit team as far as when it comes to giving heart and effort. This team fights. It competes. It plays well. It steps up defensively when we need to. We find a way to be solid enough offensively, one of the better clutch teams in the NBA so far this season. Once that game started getting close for the Chicago Bulls, you started feeling confident that it was a game that they were going to at least be able to push into overtime. Overtime period, like I said, left much to be desired for the Bulls in this game, but I don't want to just crap on them because I really do like a lot of the things that individual things that happened in this game. The Bulls also have a defensive rating in this game of 124. That they need to get that a little bit lower in a case like this. Giannis Antetokounmpo gets 32 points. We again force Dame Lillard, only goes 3 of 17 from the field in this game for 14 points. So he didn't kill us at all in this game. But Giannis down the stretch, specifically in that fourth quarter and overtime period, it was all on Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the Bulls really didn't have a single answer. 15 points Giannis scored in the fourth quarter of this game. No other player even sniffed double digits in the fourth quarter for the Milwaukee Bucks. You got 2 points from Middleton, 2 points from Brook Lopez, 2 points for Dame Lillard, and then you got those 15 points from Giannis Antetokounmpo, and that was really it. So 3 points as well from Marjan Beauchamp. But so it really was Giannis in that fourth quarter. If it wasn't for that, had we been able to slow Giannis down a little bit more, would have been a completely different game. And then 5 points by Giannis as well in the overtime period. So, again, solid enough play from the Chicago Bulls, especially a team that on paper just does not have the talent level that the Milwaukee Bucks have. And that's the biggest thing you want to take away from this game. This Bulls team went toe-to-toe with one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference that has what many people consider if not the one of the best basketball players in the NBA and in the world in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and then having Dame Lillard and just what that team has done and how far they've gone before in their career. So listen, I personally, there are some things to take away from this game that you want to see improve. Like I said, the going to Vooch for the 3-pointers to start that overtime, bad. There were some bad shots from DeMar DeRozan as well in the overtime and fourth quarter period. Again, I don't want to judge him too harshly, but when you look at the fourth quarter, DeMar DeRozan went 1 of 7 from the field. That's just not going to cut it. And then when you look at the overtime period, it was basically all DeMar DeRozan and Coby White. And Patrick Williams. Coby didn't actually score in the overtime, but DeMar scored 6 and Coby White scored. I keep saying Coby White. Patrick Williams scored 4. The only other player to register a point in overtime was Torrey Craig with 1. But like I said, it's just there was a lot of kind of execution things down the stretch, some questionable calls by refs as well. The Bulls were in a position to win this game, and to me, I'm not saying that that's a victory. I'm not even necessarily saying it's a moral victory, but how this team fought and how it has continued to fight over this stretch. The winning streak started with the Milwaukee Bucks and it ended with the Milwaukee Bucks. But that doesn't mean that the way that the Bulls are playing, how they've increased their level of play and their ceiling for this season, that doesn't mean that those things go away because they lost this game to the Milwaukee Bucks. This team fought. And one of the things that we respect most with our Chicago teams is teams that fight and give heart. And that's what we're seeing from the Chicago Bulls team. Love to see it when it comes down to it. Sucks that the Bulls got an L in this game. But listen, if they're going to lose any type of game, I like the way that they played in this, man. And I can't really take too much negative. Some things that Billy Donovan got to tighten up on, right? I've given Billy Donovan his credit for his coaching over the 4-game winning streak. I'm still going to give him credit for some of his coaching in this game. I like the way they were trying to trap players at half court. The players didn't necessarily execute that the best all the times, but I like the idea of trapping at half court once they passed that half court line. Again, moving without the ball, the Bulls did very well also. But I feel like in this game, in the overtime period, and I understand why you have Vooch out there, but to me, when Vooch's shots didn't go down early in that overtime period, to me, that would have been a time to bring in Andre Drummond, let Andre Drummond just focus on rebounding, getting the team extra possessions, and then double down on Patrick Williams, Coby White, DeMar DeRozan in that overtime period to generate your offense. But I do think Andre Drummond should have been in there in that overtime period because Vooch just didn't have his shot going. And that's what you want to go to your bullpen for, right? And so Billy Donovan, I don't know if it was a thing that you didn't want to upset Vooch or something like that, but you could tell early in this overtime period, this was not going to be one where Vooch got it going offensively. And so I would have made that adjustment in the overtime period. Not to say that necessarily would have saved the team, but hey, that's kind of my thought process on it. But let's go ahead and get into the comments. Let's see how you guys are feeling about it. We got Jay Lee in the building says, damn, hey, listen. It's tough because this was definitely a winnable game, right? But you still I gotta give them credit for the heart that they played with, man. Yeah, it sucks. I would have loved to see the team get a win here. Would have loved to see that, absolutely. But at the end of the day, like, you're not going to win them all. And there are going to be games where you're outmatched in. And that's what the Bulls were in this game. They did not have the talent levels of what the Milwaukee Bucks had, but they still competed. They were right there with them. You got to get credit for that. Let's see. We got Benji in the building says, not mad at that L. Yeah, I'm not mad at it at all either. Now, if the Bulls would have gotten blown out, I would have been like, damn, how do we show so much heart and then turn around and get blown out? But hey, this team competed throughout the whole start of this game. So Marcus in the building. He says, good game by the Bulls. Definitely agree with you on that one, Marcus. Heart, but gut wrenching from Jeff the Cable Guy. Facts. But this is you. Hopefully this shows this team what they can compete with, right? And continues because the Bulls still should use this game to build their confidence. You're not going to get them all. They didn't get the win in overtime, but I tell you what, you earn the respect. The Milwaukee Bucks came in. Well, you can't go into Milwaukee, and they had a target on you. They knew they couldn't overlook you because you beat them before, and so you took the Milwaukee Bucks' biggest punches, and you still stayed in there toe to toe with them throughout most of the game. That's something that you definitely got to respect about a team that just on paper does not have the star power, anything nearly of what the Milwaukee Bucks do. We got Daily Insomnia Studio says they were so close, good effort. Facts. Definitely agree with you on that one. Io not a single stat in 25 minutes. He did get a stat, a personal foul. That's it. Yeah. It was a bad stat line. Definitely a bad stat line. You can't get a quadruple. You can't even say single. That's it. You didn't register a stat. That's crazy. That one stung. Great overall game, though. Agree with you on that one, Ken, and glad to have you in the building as well. Austin G in the building says, can't be mad with the L. They played their butts off. If Caruso plays, it's a completely different game down the stretch, especially with Caruso and the way that he's been shooting the three. And we already know the defensive ability that he brings. But look, again, love the heart that this team showed. Really do. Lil Fam on the building says, can't be mad. G's better effort than earlier in the season. Facts. Way better effort than earlier in the season. Like that live. Hey, Haize, glad to see you, man. DeRozan had a huge night. Yeah, I mean, as far as in the stat sheet, he did have a huge night, but let's not act like just you got like watching the game. DeMar left some on the table, especially in that fourth quarter. He left some on the table. So El Trapo in the building says the team is different. Yeah. It definitely is. It's a different team. It's a different vibe around the team. I think, like I said that before, that the fact that players all know that they're going to get opportunities to shoot, they're going to get opportunities to have the ball in their hands. It's going to be fun for it. It's going to be fun basketball that's going to be played in Chicago here, I think, throughout the rest of the season. So close. We had so many chances during the start of OT, but they put the lid back on the basket. Loved how much heart we showed. Yeah, man, that start of that OT period, I literally was like, come on, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? There are opportunities where Pat got to the rim, Coby got to the rim. We just could not convert. And unfortunately, hey, that's just what it comes down to with this Bulls team. You got to be able to convert. You got to be able to get to the rim. Well, when you get to the rim, you got to be able to convert those shots. The Bulls weren't able to, man. But hey, still only lost by 4. It is what it is. Davin Winslow says, not even mad about this one. 53 minutes of playing with heart is good. Every single minute logged, they played with heart for the most part. Doesn't mean that they always executed well, but they played with heart throughout all of that. So Alex R says, facts, DeMar needed to pass more in the fourth in OT, not just to Coby, but everyone. And that's the thing that when you saw this team battling back, right, in the second half of this game, when this team was getting the lead down, eventually took the lead briefly, tied the game, it was because everybody was involved. You cannot devolve back into hero ball. And it wasn't the same as what we got at different times, but you can't devolve back to hero ball when things you have to go ride with what got you there. And we saw this team go away from that. And I will say this too. I know he made and converted the shot, but again, what is it going to take for Billy Donovan to draw up a last-minute play for somebody other than DeMar DeRozan? Because Coby had it rocking today. And like I said, and maybe I'm wrong to critique it because DeMar did end up hitting the shot that sent us into overtime. But I think Coby White deserved the opportunity in that minute. Now, had we lost the game, would I be saying that? It is what it is. Brandon W says, good game. Bulls did everything right. It's just the height and length of having Giannis and Brook Lopez in the game. It's hard to beat that unless you have Christian Wood. First of all, no. I got to stop you there. No, you don't need. We beat this Bucks team with that before. No, the height didn't bother the Chicago Bulls. Let me not say it didn't bother them, but that's not why they lost this game. Poor offensive execution in the beginning of overtime is a way bigger part of why they lost this game than saying length. It's just no. I got to disagree with you on that one. Flat 3 Studio says, great energy and determination by the lads. I'm happy with this performance. Yeah, definitely. I'm extremely happy with the performance that this team gave for the most part, right? As far as the effort, there are some things, taking more shots, running different offense. I would assume having a zero burger is wild. Like I just, 0 for 2 from the field was I would assume when at some point he just stopped shooting, contributed defensively for sure, right? And that's why you can't just look at just the stat sheet and say, hey, Io played terribly because he had 0 points. He didn't score. He stopped trying to score too, but the defense was there for him. And maybe he lost a little bit of confidence in that offense early on and then didn't want to keep giving it. Maybe that's the case, but it is what it is out there. Vooch was awful tonight from Ali Fault. I mean, it wasn't great, right? 6 for 16 from the field, 16 shots to get 14 baskets, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. I mean, I'm glad that he was out there doing things and logging in things, but the offense from Vooch was just, his shooting ability was terrible tonight. The Chicago Bulls pin says the Bulls are simply a better team right now. As much as we want to say without Zach and DeMar, the young guys shine. 2 years ago when they went down, that wasn't the case. They're ready, love to see it. Yeah, and if you think that these young players would have given this same thing a year ago, or 2 years ago, a year ago, you're crazy. You're just talking yourself into a fucking circle. This team has developed. Coby White has developed. Let's be clear here. Coby White has turned into a new player. Let's make sure it's going to be consistent. But Coby White has rounded out to a amazing player. He's only still averaging 15.6 points per game. That shows you how bad the scoring was. But let's talk about in the month of December so far. 4 games in the month of December, Coby White is averaging 24.7 points per game. He's doing that on 52% shooting from the field, 59% shooting from three-point range is Coby White in the month of December so far. Big things, 7 rebounds, 5.5 assists per game. Coby White is absolutely balling. If he keeps this up, he's going to get votes for player of the month, and he absolutely should. Coby White, right now, there's not too many players in the league playing better with a heads up as Coby White is. Coby White is absolutely balling right now, and you got to give that man credit for coming in this season, being able to find what he was looking for, grow into that starting point guard role, which is a lot of Bulls fans, not everybody, but a lot of Bulls fans saying at the beginning of the season, oh, Kobe's not a starter, get Coby out of there. But listen, it's great to see a player on your team develop for your team, and that's what we've seen with Coby White. He is developed for this Chicago Bulls team, and I for one love to see it. Love to see it. YNG Sports and Hip Hop says Coby White has took that leap. Yeah, I mean, it really does seem that. Let's make sure it's going to maintain over the season, but this season that Coby White is playing, man, it's been excellent to see his growth. It's been fun. It's been a revelation for a team that I doubted a lot. Like, hey, which one of these young guys are going to show the pillar that they're a pillar of the future of this team? Well, that answer was Coby White. Alec Jacoby White is balling out for this Bulls team, man, and you just gotta love to see it. R Hall in the building says, "C Red, thank you for the super chat, brother. Thank you for supporting the channel." We also got Dennis in the building says, go Bulls. Thank you for the super chat. Also, brother, thank you for supporting the channel. We appreciate you. Brooke made Billy scared to call up plays for Vooch down low. No, Vooch's inability to make shots and have effective offense throughout the whole game is what made Billy Donovan not want to call offense for Vooch, because Vooch, it is what it is. I agree with the hard and hustle, but DeMar needs to play smarter. Hero ball and tough shots isn't working. So call a new regime, play smart, DeMar. Well, it's not necessarily DeMar. That's also what the coach is calling, right? DeMar's just not out there going rogue, calling for hero ball or isolation. He's relying what we've seen Billy Donovan do. He is who we thought he was. Billy Donovan is a head coach that relies heavily on his star level players, and he did that again with DeMar DeRozan. Now, sometimes it's going to save your bacon. Today, I think it should have gone a different way, but that's just my opinion. The Flaming Turtle with the super chat, thank you for supporting the channel, says, am I crazy that Coby even get a shot in OT? Other than at the end, doesn't feel like he was given a chance or got a play run. Let's take a look at the number of shots that Coby got in OT. Let's see. I can give you that breakdown. Coby White got 3 shots in overtime. 3 shots. He was 0 for 3 from the field in overtime. The Bulls only took a total of 14 shots in overtime, which is crazy. It is what it is there, man. Steve-O in the building says, like I said in the roundtable talk tonight, was another example of Billy not feeding the hot hand and DeMar do whatever the fuck he wanted. Yes, he was scoring, but he was forcing it. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that was part of the coach's game plan as well, which is a fault. I'm not saying that throws it any bell, but that goes back to Billy Donovan just being a coach that when the going gets tough, he relies on those stars. He just does. Coby should have gotten more touches in OT to get a few threes. Coby should have been the main focal point, in my opinion, of the offense in it. He just should have. He should have. Bulls played well tonight. They showed heart. That's all I wanted from the Bulls. When it lose, when it comes down to it, yeah. You wanted this team to come in and show that they competed, can show that they belong, and they did. Listen, they went toe-to-toe, one of the best teams in the league. And you got to give them credit for that. Archangel in the building says, interesting, we played Dalen for a while, but no Julian at all. No, Julian Phillips checked in this game. Julian checked in for his normal 4 minutes in the game. So Billy Donovan clearly, when it comes down to Julian Phillips, has it in his head, you get 4 minutes. That's what I got for you. You get 4 minutes. So, it is what it is. But he played his typical 4 minutes to Julian Phillips. It's so funny how consistent that's been. It's Julian Phillips playing 4 minutes. Io out here looking like, nah, he gave more defensive effort than that for sure. Hokich Obama says good things happen whenever Coby White had the ball. Wish Billy made the adjustment to have him with the ball more. I mean, I agree with you, and I think Coby's starting to show that he is that close to star level player. He's becoming for this team to where you can say, hey, put the ball in Coby's hands and let him figure it the fuck out. That's really what it just comes down to. Put the ball in Coby White's hands and let Coby White just figure it out. Damn it. Like Coby White has done that at every step so far this season. He's figured it the hell out. Let him keep doing it. Let him keep doing it. Jiggy says, bro, every now and then have to really look for the positive comments, mostly negative, mad, depressing. It was a good fight against the team. But listen, it is what it is. When a team loses, you're going to get probably more negative than anything else. But hey, P. Will ain't no slouch either. He's been stepping up consistently as well. Oh, for sure. What is he now? I think 8 or 9 games. And 9 out of, I think, the last 10 games of scoring in double digits. Definitely killing it. Definitely killing it. Prove me wrong says, apology video. No, you were wrong and a fucking idiot. And you continue to be a fucking idiot with a terrible hairline. And you're just bad. You're bad. Like, first of all, this is your life, brother. You made this. I didn't even make this on you. I was able to just pull this because you made this. You're a loser. Talking about some prove you wrong. Find some right in your life, bro. That's it. That's it. You got to stop chasing white women. You got to stop chasing white women, bro. You got to stop doing this. It's corrupting your brain, bro. Just a joke. Just a joke. Tibbs had flaws, but I like how Tibbs wasn't scared to bench starters if they wasn't producing anyway defensively or offensively. Hence, Boozer was a big signing that season, but never had him close games. No, that's wrong. They had him close games until Taj Gibson started showing and stepping up. And then at that point, yeah, you went with Taj because he was a better player defensively. But no, it didn't start off that way. Let's be clear there. So. No, Pat. Who's slandering Pat Will? How can you slander Pat Will for this performance? And he was guarding Giannis a lot of this game, right? Archangel says, oh, wow, didn't even notice Julian. Probably not good. Did notice Dalen today, though. Hey, Dalen gave some solid minutes today. Solid minutes today. Watch how motherfuckers going to say the Bulls are terrible and just shit on the team because we lost this game. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think. I think that the Bulls are going to give credit. You Milwaukee Bucks to overtime. I don't think that the Bulls are going to get too much slander for this. I really don't. I don't think so. So, could I be wrong on that? Yeah, definitely could be wrong, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. I don't think they're going to get a lot of slander. Drummond should be getting 20 plus minutes a game, 16 rebounds and 14. No, he shouldn't, because Andre Drummond's everything drops in the toilet if you play Andre Drummond over 18 minutes. It just is what it is. Prove me wrong says Billy got to be smarter. You go for the win in no OT. We play Denver tomorrow. And we already shorthanded. I mean, I can understand you saying that, right? Play for the win. I think you play for the percentages, and that's what Billy Donovan does. Is he's playing for the percentages. So he's trying to go with what is the highest percentage shot, and then let's figure it out in overtime. But I definitely get what you're saying in that, brother. Is that if you like, there's something to be said with how hot Kobe's been shooting the ball. They try to go for the win. I could definitely understand that. You can hear Billy call to clear out when DeMar got the ball, but he still point Tony Craig to run play. That's funny. Around the league says, I've been enjoying this Bulls. Hey, these Chicago Bulls that have been playing over this last stretch has been a completely different team. The heart, the effort, the energy, the vibe around the team, everything's just completely different. And great point from Antoine Johnson here. The key is how they bounce back tomorrow against Denver. Well, keep in mind they're gonna run into an offense that's gonna have a lot of weapons too. We'll see what happens to Alex Caruso. It was a game time decision today, so let's see what ends up coming down with that. But I think ultimately this Bulls team, they keep playing like this, they can compete with anybody. We do need a better output from Io if he's going to be starting in next game as well. Vooch always plays Jokic really well, so I think we're going to see better Vooch in next game as well. We're going to need it. Whatever happens after the Zach LaVine trade, don't think Coby White is sustainable come playoff time. If he only had 3 shots during overtime, that tells us all his confidence in his role as no, it doesn't. You're a fucking idiot. It tells us what the coach took the ball out of his hands. Learn to understand basketball. Don't create storylines. Watch the game of basketball. That's what you need to do. Because the storyline that it tells us about his confidence, what the fuck? No, Coby White is the confidence isn't a problem with Coby White. What are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? The only hate on the Bulls are going to be by their own fans. We have this championship mentality. We ain't won shit in 20 plus years. We did all right. There were mistakes, but there also were major positives. Completely agree with you on that one. Completely agree. Yo, Haize, I think Coby has developed well. He picks and chooses his spots more, and he gets other players going as well with assists and setting everyone else up. Completely agree. And that's why, it takes a player a while to learn a role. And he's learned, I think, that starting point guard role. Is he a half court set up the offense type point guard? No, he's never going to be that. But he is learning to use his skill set the best for it. Billy Donovan, like Matt Eberflus, had something up his sleeves to finish the game, except the only thing up Billy's sleeve is a tattoo of DeMar. Wow. That's funny. That's hilarious. Another 25 plus for Coby, Pat 15 and 5 rebounds, and Io running back and forth. He played some defense out there. Let him know, Haize, these boys spitting nonsense out here. Bulls play hard. All that matters. Yeah, I mean, listen, they competed. Coby a star. He's on his way, and P. Will is looking good. And that putback that putback from Patrick Williams was nasty. 15 points from Patrick Williams on 14 shots. Not the best efficiency, not the worst either. 7 rebounds, 2 assists from him. And listen, he could have had a couple of steals there as well. They called him foul. So Patrick Williams played a really good game. I think he played better in the second half than the first, but he put it together. If Vooch took advantage of that mismatch instead of passing to Io for the missed 3, we won by 2. I mean, not necessarily, but I get what you're saying. Billy Donovan is pregnant with DeMar's next side baby. Wow. Okay. Muhammad in the building says, Coby reminded me of Anthony Simons with the leap he's made this year. Hey, that's not a bad comp. I think this though. I think Coby White's a better decision maker than Anthony Simons. Like, yeah, you can talk about the stats, maybe even how they get the shots in their offense. But to me, Coby White is a much better just understanding of the game of basketball, kind of dictating pace. I think he's better than Anthony Simons in that area, right? Not saying he's a better player yet, but I'm saying in that specific area, I do think he's better. Tailspin says Debo needs to play within the offense. I believe Coby would have found him easier shots. Well, again, it's not just DeMar. Like, it's not like DeMar's going rogue out there. That's the system that Billy Donovan is running. Bulls didn't play like them old styles. I don't know why people are bitching at DeRozan. He played good. I didn't expect us to win, even with the new play style. This team is not on that level. I mean, this win streak started against them. And the thing is that this Bulls team can compete with anybody with this type of play style. So I understand the disappointment a little bit, especially when it was a winnable game. But to put it back in realism, like the Bulls competed with one of the best teams in the league. Cavalier, why won't Billy put Vooch and Drummond in at the same time? Because that is literally a dumbass lineup. That is the worst possible lineup that you can have for this team. You do not play Vooch and Drummond together. The only time Vooch and Drummond should be out there together is on the free throw line when the opposing team's shooting a free throw and you want to make sure you're able to get the rebound. That's it. You do not run any lineups with Vooch and Drummond together. It is literally the worst possible rotation at the 4 and 5 that you can have for the Chicago Bulls team. I'm sorry, if I have a chance to win the damn game, yeah, we're playing better, but get the fucking win. That's the type of person I am. I'm not glass half full person. We already know you're the negative Nancy of the Chicago Bulls fan base, according to people. But by the way, you cooked common sense. That was hilarious to see. Do you think Coby has reached his ceiling, or is there still more growth? Personally, I believe he still has a ton of room to go. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is the first season that he's playing like this. It'd be crazy to say he's reached the ceiling. We don't even know if he's gonna do this consistently yet, or if it can raise. So no, he hasn't reached the ceiling yet. You can't say a player has reached their ceiling until they've played a consistent level for a couple of years, and then you can say, hey, well, they haven't really changed much in that time. They probably now reached their ceiling. We're not even halfway through the first season of Coby playing like this. So no, he hasn't reached his ceiling yet. Coby White can catch rebounds, though. Simons is actually allergic to the ball when it's a rebound. That man seems scared of. That's a great point as well. He's also considerably smaller than Coby White as well. Bro, Coby definitely understanding the game a lot more. I can see get better every game. Facts on that one. I don't remember a day when Drew and Vooch played at the same time, but against the Bucks with two bigs, it might make sense. Nah, because you still got to play two sides of the ball. I can get what you're coming at defensively, but you still got to think about offense. We're already a team that just Vooch and DeMar are fighting over the same spot offensively. You want to throw Andre Drummond in there as well? No spacing at all. No spacing at all. I love how DeMar looks like San Antonio Spurs DeMar with passing. DeMar's always been a solid player. Just didn't think him and Zach mix well. It is what it is. Eads Instrument says, Haize, how the hell do you come up with this shit so quickly? You got to stop dating white women. Because I'm crazy. I keep telling y'all, I'm functionally crazy. That's just what it is. I think Coby and DeMar are going to the All-Star game. Don't you think this is coming in a couple of months? No, I don't think I can't say that they're going to the All-Star game. I personally can't say that. But I guess we'll see. I don't think that I don't see it happening. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. And let's hope that if we can get anybody on it, like if we can get Coby, if we can get DeMar, if we can get anybody in the All-Star game, I'm all for it. But hey, we'll see. Let's see. What is this? What is happening here? I fucking hate restream sometimes. Okay. And I gotta debunk somebody saying some dumbass shit. Hold on. Let me go and get this. Where's this at? Where was this idiot at? So I'm not going to go crazy over Coby White. He's -7 over his last 10 games. He has extreme similarities to Jordan Poole. We're like Coby, first of all, you literally pulled last 10 games. Because keep in mind, that's when the Bulls were losing. The team was playing bad. So you're trying to use that stat for idiocy. In the last 5 games, Coby White has a plus-minus of +32. So first of all, let's not try to use. You literally went back into where you could try to pull something idiotic out just so you can have a point. Again, stop talking narratives and learn to understand and watch the game of basketball. Stop that. We don't do that here. We are people that actually watch the game of basketball. When you come here just quoting dumbass blanketed stats to try to support, you go and try to find something to support a statement you want to make instead of letting the facts do that. It's idiotic. It's stupid. And here it's going to get you exposed and blown up because that is a fucking dumbass statement that you try to use to try to dissuade from a player that's playing his ass off right now. And if you're going to go and use plus minus, then use it correctly. Part of that plus minus is who he was on and off the court with. What was happening the last 5 games, other than this 5 games when we've been 4-1 over, we had a player on the team that was literally not taking shots during that, throwing off the rhythm of the team. Coby White didn't even have the same prioritization in the offense at that point in time. So you're using a 10-game stretch with -7. How about we use over the last 5 games, which does include a loss, that Coby White was one of the highest offensive weapons on that team, and he's +32. How about we do that? See, that is how you use stats to support and talk about something in full, not be foolish. How about you do that, my brother? Try that. This isn't the place for your foolishness. So let's get that on track. Now, with that being said, let's get back into it. Thing I don't have a problem with DeMar staying, but only if it's a bench role, like you mentioned once, if he puts his ego down. I don't even think at this point, I'm not going to say anything about DeMar's ego or anything like that. I think it's Billy Donovan. So, we'll end up seeing what comes of that. But from what we're hearing right now, I don't necessarily think DeMar's going to end up staying here, especially. I just don't think so. Coby's developed that twitchy change of tempo when handling the ball in the half court. Gets the defense off balance. He keeps adding subtle aspects to his game that make a huge impact. Yeah, and he keeps adding stuff to his game, and it's great to see when he does that. Great to see when he does that. Why do you look like a dumbass with an afro on your head that you ain't picked or done nothing with? Ain't nobody mad. Learn to tell the difference and discern the difference between passion and being upset. Now, I'm mad that you look like a goddamn fool asking why people are mad while you sit here and look like you don't understand what race or ethnicity you want to be. You look confused. You look like your DNA is fighting itself internally right now. You need to worry about that. How about that? Now I'm going off on YouTube. How about that? How about that? Petty Roosevelt is back, motherfucker. That's what we're in. Now y'all done brought Petty Roosevelt out with the dumb shit. What we doing out here, bro? What we doing out here? Thank you. Way too many box score watchers on the internet. Appreciate you shutting that stuff down. It's one of the things that irritates me the most, man. It irritates me the most. Like box score watchers that then try to talk about the game like you actually watching the game. What we doing here, man? What we doing? We have the Heat next. No, we have the Nuggets next. So we got the Nuggets tomorrow, and then we have a break, and then we face the Miami Heat on Thursday and Saturday is when we face the Miami Heat. Billy needs DeMar to get another big contract, side baby expensive. That's hilarious. That's funny. That's funny. Haize, listen. You can't cancel somebody who don't give a fuck. Like, of all the shit that I've said on this show, if somebody was going to cancel me, that would have been happened. Like, you can't cancel somebody who doesn't give a fuck. Me, I don't give a fuck. So it is what it is. Proud of the squad tonight. Coby putting the league on notice. He's really like that. Hey, Coby's taking this step, man. It's taking a step, and it could very well be elite by the end of the season. But Coby White has absolutely taken that step, man. Absolutely. It's great to see. Great to see. Folks looking like Ronnie 2K son. That's crazy, bro. That's wild, man. That's crazy. I don't understand it, bro. Still trying to figure out why they stopped going to Kobe late because Billy Donovan's a fucking idiot. That's why. That's why he did it. Man, fuck the Nuggets. We're gonna eat their asses up. So wait, Sam. JDH is the ass eater here. Why are we talking about eating asses up, bro? Like, what we doing, man? What we doing, bro? What are we doing? What are we doing out here, bro? You're talking about eating ass? We talking basketball, bro. Like, what we doing, man? What we doing? Yo, Haize, what changed? But you can definitely see that P. Will is showing more aggression on the offense, but I still got to see it for a while longer. But I like what I'm saying. Oh, facts. Like, I love how Patrick Williams has been playing. I love it. I won't take away from it. It started off a little rough in the first half in this game, but he really started to come on as the game goes. I think you're just seeing a player that's more confident. We talked about the month of December for Coby White, but if you're looking at the month of December so far for Patrick Williams, he's averaging 14 points per game, six and a half rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 1.5 blocks, 1.5 steals. Patrick Williams right now is balling 60% shooting from the field, 40% shooting from 3-point range, not taking a whole hell of a lot of threes, only about 3 per game, but he's really stepped it up majorly here recently. And you got to take your hat off to Patrick Williams as well. Bro, on that JDH timing, hey, that's crazy. Big fan of yours, bro. This is from Haize. Let me know if I pronounced that correct, bro. What do you think of Coby White, Tyler Hero backcourt? I think Kobe needs another scorer, not named DeMar. So Zach to the Heat. No, I think Coby White. I don't like that backcourt. I'm gonna lie to you. Being off the bench for this team, I love that. But I don't think that. I think the last time we heard is that they're moving on from it. So I don't think the Miami Heat are pursuing Zach LaVine. I want to take DeMar's safety blanket away from this offense and see Kobe, Pat, and the rest of the offense move the ball and find the best shot in crunch time. You know, it would be interesting to see how Billy Donovan would call a game in overtime with no DeMar DeRozan. Like if DeMar fouled out or was out the game, something like that, because it really just goes back to DeMar. So it's Seaway's World in the building says this trade, DeMar stuff, is legit annoying. I know he isn't perfect, but he is a big reason why folks are buying tickets to see the Bulls. Let's give it a rest and see what he does. I beg. No, you're not. And here's the thing: is Seaway's World. You're not, because we keep hearing things that him and the Bulls are far away on a contract extension, and if they can't agree to one, they're trading his ass. So I think that there's some realism in it. Now, for the people that are just like, oh, DeMar did this, let's get him out of here, that's different. But I do think there's some smoke to that fire for sure. You need better customer service. Well, here's your customer service. Look, I got this customer service for you. So you can go in timeout and you can fuck off because you're not a customer. And even if you were a customer, I'll tell you to go eat your own ass. That's what you need to do. Sit on the floor and find a way to eat your own ass, because guess what? You're shitty. That's what you got to do. That's it. Figure that shit out. Go about your business. DeMar fouls out. Billy panics in bubblegum. Billy panics in bubblegum. That's hilarious. I feel like we give up on DeMar and Zach, we will lose some needed scoring, as they are both bucket getters. If we were to trade them, it has to be one or the other and trade around. No, they're probably going to trade both of them, but it depends on what you get back. So, shout out to Pat the designer. That's crazy. Like and subscribe, or Dwight would be. God damn, Dwight, that's crazy. Eating your own ass is crazy. I mean, listen, I'm sure somebody's tried to do it. JDH has probably tried to do it. Like, he's probably tried to do it a couple of times, actually. That may be why he left out the chat now. He had to put the phone down so he can try to go eat his own ass. Because, like, you can only eat so much. He's eating all the strip ass in the city of Chicago. So it's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Close bro is pronounced Ja Sear, brother. Okay, see, I was close. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. The rest of us customers are here to watch folks get yelled at. That's hilarious. Oh man. All right, y'all. I gotta get ready to go do. I gotta get ready to go do Locked On Bulls. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you hit that follow, that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. We're trying to get to 20K subscribers by the end of the season, so go ahead and hit that sub button. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullCentralPod@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. Thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See it if you can, y'all. And because I flamed a couple of people, we're going to go ahead and play the winning outro, even though we didn't win. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah.